Dubb Virtual Backgrounds 2.0. This one's awesome, guys. A brand new Dubb Desktop App with some really incredible functionality and updates to our Dubb Partner program. These are some of the things you guys can look for from our early adopter program. Let's kick this thing off.
Thank you so much for joining this live video. We are so psyched to talk about the Dubb Early Adopter program. It's a beta program where we give access to our newest features, our product launches, our tech, our innovations, sometimes our failures, and it's a chance for you to just give us early feedback, to gain access really, to try some of the new things that we're working on, and to make the overall Dubb experience more positive for you, for the Dubb community, for everyone that's using it. We have so much gratitude that there's been so much interest in this program. In the first invite that we did, we had over 100 members join within a day. So it was really exciting to get that. Darius is going to be talking about some exciting new things that we are going to be launching actually in this very post. So stick around until the end of this video so you can learn about what we're launching and what you can gain early access to.
So first thing here is, oh wait, Ruben, my screen's already shared. Here we go. Is actually access to the early adopters group. We're going to share this link with you guys. Come in, join the group, and reap the benefits here. So simple as that. Look for the link. We're going to place it in a couple of places. The next thing here is Virtual Backgrounds 2.0. So from the Dubb website, you're going to be able to record a video here. And you'll notice below your recording is an option for virtual backgrounds. You may have tried this before. Come try it again, and you'll probably notice some very significant improvements. You can see here it's super stable. Come give it a try, see what you can find, and enjoy. And finally, we have the Dubb Desktop App. You can see here we're going to publish this link as well, dubb.com/desktop-app. You can skip the features. What that's going to do is take you here to the page, download your version, and this is going to give you access to our beta desktop app with some really cool functionality. If you've had trouble or you don't like Chrome, you're a Firefox user or something, this is for you. Or if you want some custom sizes, if you're on Mac, some really cool benefits with the desktop app. Come explore, help us out, test it out, and also benefit. Those are the features here in this early adoption program to help kick it off.
That's great, Darius. Now, everybody out there, stay tuned for our social posts. Now, you're going to want to get updates on the new tech that we're testing, and I want to make sure that you provide feedback as comments, posts in the community, and support at dubb.com. Another thing that we're doing is we're always looking for reviews and case studies and testimonials and stories from everybody out there. So if you're interested in meeting with me to discuss your success story, please book a time at dubb.com/bookrob. Again, that's dubb.com/bookrob. Now, something that we're all excited about as well is the partner program, earn.dubb.com. Please join us there. We're going to work with you to drive revenue not only for you, but for us. We are all about being a team. It's about you and it's about us. Drive that revenue. And I will be personally spearheading this thing, co-hosting webinars, and so much more. So I look forward to working with you all. And thank you again for your continued support out there. And remember, our success is your success.
Absolutely.
Awesome. Yeah. So since we're on a live, we might as well stick around. We had a couple of comments here. Ken Walls, thank you so much. 3 rock stars. Yes, agree to that. Heather Nichols has a question. You said it's Mac friendly? Oh yeah, it's absolutely Mac friendly. In fact, I just shared the 2 install files in the comments. It's a DMG file, which is, I actually don't know what DMG stands for. I should probably figure that out, but that's the native Apple format. And then there's EXE, which is the PC format. I think that stands for an executable file. So DMG for Mac, EXE for PC. Please go and click on those. Darius actually will do a more detailed walkthrough of the desktop app now. The other thing that I think people have been asking about is how to know if you're already in the program. David, thank you so much for that question. So what we encourage you to do is to actually go into the Facebook group called the Dubb Early Adopters and Beta Testers group. So you can just search for Dubb Early Adopters or Dubb Beta Testers, and one of those is going to pop up as a Facebook group. So just make sure you're in that group. And that's where we're going to be posting a lot of this information. In fact, this live video right now is in fact being posted there. So very exciting. Thanks so much for joining us. Bunch of new people here. Oh, here we go. Disk image file. Thank you, David. And that is exactly why you are in the beta program, because you know what that stands for.
Nice.
All right, cool. Johnny, thank you so much for joining. Appreciate you. Darius, if you wanted to share your screen and kind of give us a deep walkthrough, one thing I do recommend is to make sure that the buttons are viewable in the recording. There's that button,
Yep.
which of course we can talk about.
We got it.
So it's all you.
All right, here we go. So it starts here at the dubb.com/desktop-app. You can also just type that in. That would forward to that same URL. And here you're going to be able to download these. These links will be updated here periodically as we release further beta versions. Ruben has shared the most recent links here in the comments. So make sure you download from there. DMG for Mac, EXE for PC. Once you have downloaded it, it is also going to say, okay, drag this file, install it as an application, your typical installing an app thing. Once it's installed, you're going to be able to launch it, and you're going to have the Dubb icon here. If you're on a Mac, it's up here. If you're on a PC, it might be down here in some of your tool trays, slightly different location. The functionality is going to be the same, though. So when you click on this guy, it gives you almost the same exact options that we have in the extension, if you're familiar there. You can record your entire screen. So everything on your screen, your desktop, your browser tabs, whatever, you can record a single application. So if it's just an application or your browser or whatever, you can record just your webcam, which is going to be just your webcam, nothing on the screen. And then finally, you can record a custom size where you can select a specific size of your screen. Just be aware that custom size is only available for Mac right now. So those 4 options for recording, you can see some additional controls there. Select your camera, turn it on or off. And then once you actually begin the recording, you will also notice some additional on-screen controls down here in the corner. Pausing, resizing, those same abilities that are on the extension. And then one final thing here is you can see my controls now, but there is actually an ability to hide your controls. So you can go to preferences and you can say hide your controls. So that way you see them, but recipients watching your videos will not. You can also mirror your image. So some people have a request where their little bubble in the corner and they go to point left and it looks like they're pointing right. Well, you can flip that as well. So that is basically the app functionality there. We didn't cover just the one expansion feature, which is also part of the extension. So not super new. When you turn on your webcam here, you do have the ability to expand it to take up your full screen. So pausing, canceling, uploading, all the same options on the extension.
Now, I just want to reiterate how important that little tiny pause button is. Having a pause, I can't pause this live video right now, which means I need to be on point with everything that I'm saying. In asynchronous and pre-recorded videos, we have that ability to pause our videos. And the reason why that's really valuable is because number one is if we don't know what we're going to say next, we can pause. Number two is that we can prepare what's on our screen, get the browser tab open, get the desktop app open, get some sort of an application open, and then click, resume when we're ready to show that. So it gives us, it sort of relieves some of the anxiety, makes the process much more streamlined. It also makes sure that your video is not terribly long. Live videos are notorious for being very long. People sometimes go for tens of minutes, if not hours, especially if your name is Ken Walls. And just kidding, Ken, we love your long videos. But with pre-recorded videos, you can keep them concise and short. And that really, I think, respects people's time. Even though, if you have something good to say, people love to watch long videos as well. A couple of specific features that I think are really important in the Dubb Desktop app are, number one, Darius, maybe you could show this. There's a third switch that says display error logs.
Yeah.
And I really want to encourage anyone in the beta program to actually turn that switch on. Now, it's not a beautiful switch. What it does is not amazing. It just displays the errors that are happening on the desktop app while they're happening in real time. So if you get some sort of a conflict, if you get some sort of a crash, if something is happening, it's going to actually display that error message, at which point, of course, you can copy it and then send us a screenshot, send us a copy and paste of the text of the error message. Hopefully it won't be this insane infinity screen here that we're seeing on Darius's screen.
Yeah, sorry, I'm like trying to share the
I'm
right
just kidding.
screen.
I love the movie Inception. So that's really, really important. The other thing that Darius mentioned, which is really important, is the mirror image. Sometimes there's a reason for you to want to mirror your image. I can't quite figure out when that is. I think it's the webcam or the drivers that you're using. Sometimes that's important. And then the last switch is display controls and recording. And we designed that specifically, I think, for two reasons. Number one is because sometimes you just do not want to have your recordings display the controls in them. No one needs to see you clicking the pause button or the play button or the record button. The second reason, though, is so that we, as the testers, as the developers, can actually see the software. So for anyone in the program, we definitely recommend that you turn both the display controls and recording switch on, and also display error log switch on. Both of those should be on. It's just going to help us with the process. Another thing that's really important is that we built a back-end error log sending function. So what that means is this app is progressively getting more intelligent. The more conflicts, the more bugs, the more issues, compatibility issues, we're saving that information in a temp file and then gathering it in the same way that a lot of the greatest developers on the planet do it, just so that they can improve, remove crashes, remove bugs. So Darius, maybe you could show that specific switch as well. That's in the menu. So if you go to the hamburger menu on the desktop app, and then you go to get support, and then there's going to be a link there that says, Darius can show it right here. I think it says send error logs.
Sorry, hiding that thing. So yes, when you click on this guy, I got to close my controls there. Get support, send error report.
Okay, so right there. So please, if you experience any issues whatsoever, please click on that link. And the reason why, once again, is that it is going to send the error logs to the server so that we can troubleshoot, so that we can repair that. After you click on that button, you're also going to get taken to our contact page, our intercom page. So we're going to improve this process, but it works. So what we would ask you to do, please, is to just click on that send us a message button, and then send us whatever you can, a screenshot, a copy and paste, an explanation, a Dubb video, whatever, a message that tells you that you love us. We want to get it all. It's super important that we get information at this point, because that's the only way that we're going to improve. One of the other things that we recommended, I think Rob mentioned this, is that we do need to have a feedback loop. So support@dubb.com is a really great place to send us emails. So when you send us emails here, all of us get it. We're all in our online support platform, so we all have access to this. And this allows us to kind of collaborate, share notes, assign certain things to the right person on the team, and really ultimately improve the overall Dubb experience. So if you do experience any issues as part of the beta program, please send an email to support@dubb.com, detailed reports, error logs, copied and pasted, and then of course screenshots, and then videos if possible. You can use the Dubb mobile app. A lot of the times what I do if I want to report an issue with the Dubb Desktop app is I actually use the Dubb mobile app. And what I do is I simply grab the Dubb mobile app and then I record what I'm seeing on my screen. And the reason why this is valuable is because sometimes you can't record a recorder. There's a meta problem in there. So, this allows you to record it with a secondary device and then move in and zoom and add whatever types of annotations or voiceovers that's necessary. So once again, feedback is a massively important part of this process. Please get us everything that you possibly can, because that's the way that we're going to improve. I think the give-get in this relationship is that we give early access to technology, but then what we of course expect back is data feedback. If you experience something and then did not report us to us, that's remiss. We can't improve. So please keep those lines of communication open. Ken, appreciate you. Thanks for the comments here. Ken, you've been really supportive in this process. You've sent me a lot of really great feedback items. I just wanted to give you a shout out. I encourage everyone to go check out Ken Wall's podcast, Breakthrough Walls. He's got some great stuff. Ken also has created a group on Facebook called the Dubb Club. So if you go to, I think if you just type Dubb Club in Facebook as a group, please consider joining it. I'll actually post that link directly here in the comments just in a moment here. We've got a bunch of comments here. Darius, I'm going to start posting these, and maybe you could field them. So here's our first one.
What I was saying, this is why a part of it's a beta. We haven't released it officially yet because we're going to get a couple things. The annotation tool is part of the Chrome extension where you can draw on the screen. That's not on the desktop app quite yet. Good question.
Yeah. I mean, this is a really good point, David. You're so right. Let's add this. The annotations is huge, and let's do that. Maybe we can have the rule where we fix everything first and then we add new stuff.
Right.
Eat our vegetables before we, eat our dessert. I don't know, whatever analogy you want to use here. But I feel like one of the, as the sort of head product developer at the company, I just want to make sure that I'm not adding new things until I fix the existing things. So keep a note of all the feature ideas that you folks have, because I mean, that's how we're evolving this platform. You guys have witnessed this since day one. We've had thousands of releases of new features, of new products, all sorts of innovations, most all of which has come from feedback, real-time feedback. And we love that because, that type of innovation, that type of customer feedback, based on specific customer needs to drive results is exactly what we're powered on. So love that. But, we just encourage you to just go through every aspect of the technology first, to make sure that you like the existing user experience, the functionality is there. We're connecting to webcams, we're connecting to external mics. There's all sorts of technical glitches that can happen when you have ultimately an infinite number of permutations between the operating system, the device, the driver, the internet connection, the screen size, the list goes on. CPU, the bit, the amount of RAM, it goes on and on and on. When you add and connect all those permutations, it's ultimately infinite. So the great thing about technology in this day and age is that we can, with feedback, with data, make repairs and make it compatible. One caveat that I want to say is that for the PC version, we are not going to be accommodating any version of Windows before Windows 10, nor will we be accommodating the 32-bit version of Windows. It's just simply not enough juice to power a desktop recorder, with pausing and all sorts of powerful functionality. You do need to have that Windows 10 64-bit operating system to use the PC desktop app.
Nice. All right. You got anything else?
Yeah, I was going to say that there's a lot of the three things that we mentioned in this live video are the virtual background, the new desktop app, which there's an install link for in the comments, and then the third one is our Dubb Partners program, which you can go to. In fact, I have the URL right here. We just put that up on the frame. The other thing that we always want to encourage people in the Facebook group is that maybe you have an idea, maybe you've found some sort of a glitch, something that's not ideal. Consider doing a post in the Dubb Early Adopter program Facebook group. Just throw a video up there, throw a screenshot in there, give us as much details as you want, and that way we can sort of keep that in a contained environment and then provide real-time feedback. So we promise to do our best job to report back and to keep lines of comm open.
Nice.
Any other questions that we have from the audience, please put it as a comment. Otherwise, we're going to be wrapping this up. Once again, please, Darius, if you could reiterate where people can test virtual background.
Right. Yeah, this one is, like I said, super stable. I don't think anyone's going to find anything with it, but I want you guys to use this feature and enjoy it. So here's where you're going to find it. On the Dubb website, just go to the dubb.com dashboard. And from here, you can click the Dubb button, which will launch the website recorder. And directly below there, you'll be able to select a virtual background. Now, this virtual background will also be available on the latest version of the Chrome extension. So if you have the latest version of the extension installed, just came out, and you go into your Gmail or LinkedIn or any of these other platforms, the virtual background will also be available there for testing. So you go to record, the virtual background feature is there as well. Select it, and it will kick in with the same backgrounds here. So both places you can test this guy, here inside of Gmail and on the website. Or sorry, not just Gmail, but anywhere the extension shows. Gmail, LinkedIn, Salesforce, HubSpot, all of the platforms will have a virtual background supported inside of it, as well as the Dubb website. Cool. No green screen needed. Yeah, exactly. You got it, Johnny. No green screen needed. You can pop one back behind you virtually.
Yeah, I think the ideal situation for the virtual background is front lighting, and then some sort of a homogeneous background. I mean, it still works with some of these kind of more textured backgrounds, like what Darius has, or Rob, or myself. But ideally, if you are noticing any type of edge blur or sort of some glitches on shoulders, heads, so on and so forth, you might consider getting a more homogeneous colored background. I think that is going to help. Most importantly, it's the front light.
Yeah, you can see here, I showed the example of this one background. It's super stable because I have a white background and it's pretty much one color. So regardless of which thing that I'm choosing, maybe even the black one here, you can see the white around the edges. But if I have a dark background might work better. And with a lighter color, a white background might work a little bit better. You can see here, images aren't ever perfect because there's a little bleed through. And I have some blue light in my background, which is actually coming through just a bit there. Things like this obviously will work pretty well because they're friendly for whatever you're doing. So lots of them.
Yeah, we got a question. Is that customizable? So my interpretation of customizability for virtual background is it's probably the custom image upload. That's what I'm guessing.
Yeah, you can upload your own photo there. Correct.
Yeah. And then, so the size of the virtual background image, if I'm not mistaken, is it 1280 by 720, Darius? Or
I mean, I'm actually not 100% sure on this. Let me check really quick. I know that's our traditional image upload size because that's the size of a canvas, but I can try a different size image here and see if it works.
Yeah, 1280 by I think 1280 by 720 is going to work. 1920 by 1080 will work, and then 1280 by 640. I think those three sizes will work. It really depends on the size of your screen. That's why we made it responsive. So
yeah, I think it's pretty friendly here. Actually, I just tried a really weird image, like a logo, and it worked as a background as well. Yeah, I'm using an image here that is nowhere near the graphics that. Yeah, here, let me tell you the exact size. This one that I just loaded was 801 by 176, and it actually did some really cool stretching here that I want to show you guys. This was an image that was 801 by 76, so very like a logo, and you can see it did some really cool stretching there to stretch this background.
Oh, that looks great.
So it looks like it's really intelligent in terms of image upload there. You could probably upload whatever you want. Of course, if it's a like image, it might make it a little weird. Text is a little bit friendlier. So you can see it turned that into that. So it looks like
wow, that's really interesting. So that was just a very wide
PNG
logo, and it's sort of interesting.
A wide PNG, and it did that to it. Yeah, so I think it's pretty cool.
And then can you actually show, Darius, those two? There's two knobs that you can show on blur background and virtual background. I think it's the blur amount and then the edge amount, and that just sort of that's one parameter that's going to change the sort of look and feel.
So when we actually have just the edge blur there, like you said, you can blur the background. That's a switch we didn't even talk about. But at the virtual too, you can blur the edge where you can determine if you want to increase or decrease the amount of blurring happening at your edges. So if you find that your background is friendlier or less, I mean, I would say that even toned down the edge blur is really good. So maybe up is not even as high. That one's worse. So I recommend a lower edge blur, it looks like.
Yeah, so once again, here's the URL to join this group. It's just called the Dubb Early Adopters. You can search Facebook for this. We're announcing the virtual background 2.0. This really takes our existing virtual background technology, and it's a lot more streamlined. It's a lot lighter. It's much more compatible with different devices, PC, Mac, using less CPU power, getting more performance. It loads a little bit quicker. So we're kind of proud of this. Love to get some feedback. And then the second thing that we mentioned is the Dubb Desktop App, which has on the Mac version, it has 4 recording versions. Let's see if I can remember them. Number 1 is your entire screen. Number 2 is a single application. Number 3 is webcam only, which is kind of nice for, sales videos or YouTube videos. And then the last one is the custom canvas size. So that's if you have a specific area of your screen. And then you can sort of press pause. You can increase your webcam size on those, just making really the whole process pretty slick. There's something that I would love to see more people using on the Dubb platform, which is our YouTube integration. And with the YouTube integration, what it allows you to do is to record a video using any actually of the tech. You can use the Dubb Desktop App, the mobile app, the website, the Chrome extension, and then to actually upload that video directly to YouTube. So we went through a rigorous process with Google to get approved so that you can not only import your videos from YouTube into your Dubb account, but also to take a Dubb video and to publish it to your YouTube account. So think about the possibilities. Darius, maybe you could show that upload button, but think about the possibilities now, where you can take a simple, easy to use multi-clip mobile app, a desktop app with a pause button, record a video that's dynamic with your screen, with your webcam, map it out, make it really concise, not too long, and then upload that to your YouTube account. So what you're doing effectively is you're fueling your YouTube channel. And I don't know about you guys, but making a YouTube channel and staying consistent on a YouTube channel is one of the most challenging things. Rob, you know this firsthand. Why not have some easier ways to create content and to upload that into YouTube? And in fact, Dubb is exactly that. So to do that, click on the share and send button, and then social, and then there's upload to YouTube. This is a very, very little known feature on the Dubb platform, but you guys are hearing it first. Once again, click share and send, click on the social button, and then upload to YouTube. And you can take your Dubb video and upload it into YouTube. Also, if you want to trim certain things out, you can actually do that prior to uploading it. So in the editing feature, if you scroll down, you can have multiple trim points. So let's say that it took a couple of seconds to start the video, or at the end of the video, there was a little extra footage, or somewhere in between, maybe you had a pause, or you slipped up, or some sort of a mistake. You can actually delete all those points from the video, reprocess it, and then have it be a trimmed video. This is extremely valuable because you don't need to use a third-party editing software. You don't need to use iMovie or Adobe Premiere, Engage an editor. We all know how much money it costs to get videos edited at scale, at least, and how time-consuming it is. It's a very technical job. So this is kind of a very streamlined, easy to use trimming, uploading to YouTube feature. So I encourage you guys to check that out. Victoria, thank you so much for the support. Love your family pick there. So David, I'll tell you what syncs here when you sync to YouTube. The title gets synced, the description gets synced, and the tags get synced. So I think I can't think of anything else that you want to sync. I mean, it's not gonna, I think all the videos by default are gonna be unlisted, which is probably a good thing because you want to go in, QA it. If it were live, then everyone in your audience would just get a ping and see that video. And if it wasn't perfect, or if it wasn't to the point where you were comfortable with it, then you'd be kind of stuck, or at least you'd have to go back and unlist it. So your videos will be published as unlisted by default, and then you just go in and click publish. So Johnny has a question here.
What do we got?
Do you recommend an additional webcam instead of using the webcam from the desktop? I noticed the image is overexposed. This is a great question. So I can argue this both ways. I can say, use what you have because it's easy to use. But if you're in a place where you're doing videos continually on an ongoing basis, it does make sense to invest into the technology. What I personally have is I have a Canon EOS 650 here. This is a DSLR. You can actually get these for, this is kind of like The Office where they crack a joke and then they do that zoom in. But this is a simple EOS. You can get an old school, couple-year-old Canon EOS for hundreds of dollars, anywhere from $350 to $600 up to $1,000, even more. And then there's the EOS utility, which allows you to turn your DSLR into a webcam. This is not required. You know, I did this because I record so many videos. The native FaceTime cameras on Mac are really good. They're 720, which is technically high def. If you do want to get something a little bit more high def, you know, there's a lot of brands out there. There's Logitech. They have a 1080p one that looks really good. There's some 4K ones that you might consider. If you're spending anywhere $20, $30, $40 on the webcam, it's probably not going to impress you, even if it does say HD. I've noticed that you have to spend at least $60, $70, $80 to get a nice webcam. So if there's anyone that has any comments on that, any notes, you know, please just go to the comment section and put that in there. What I'm going to do is I'm going to put the banner of our gear, and this is the gear that we recommend. This is our sort of collection of gear that we have recommended over the years: webcams, microphones, lavaliers, tripods, selfie sticks, so on and so forth. We do, in fact, have a couple of nice webcams in there. Darius, I think you're using a Logitech. Is that correct?
Yeah, no, I have a Nexigo. Nexigo is my HD one.
Oh,
It's
okay.
like,
So yours looks really high def.
Logitech, yeah, knockoff.
And then I think, Rob, you're using the Logitech 1080p, so that looks really good.
Yep.
Cool. Awesome. Love all the questions. It's like the live trainings I do, except for I always like to turn people's mics on. So if you guys want to come into another live training and talk back and forth in real time and stuff, make sure you register for a live training 3 times a week. I host those, and we can go back and forth and have a productive conversation and stuff too. So.
Nice. So Ken is recommending the Logitech 4K Brio. So if you have a link for that, we can share that.
Probably a little overkill. Most things aren't 4K supported, just FYI, but it's a good camera.
Yeah, I you know, it's interesting because sometimes I like to buy the 4K cameras, not because of the 4K, because most of the times people are not looking at it on 4K. It's because the sensor is really high quality. But I've actually noticed where I've got a 4K camera from Logitech versus another 1080p one, and funny enough, the 1080p one looked better. And I think specifically the reason why was because of the bokeh effect, where it was kind of, you know, a little bit blurry in the background, and it just looked a little bit more professional. So you might consider, you know, grabbing 1 or 2, go to a local Best Buy, grab a couple on Amazon, you know, make sure there's a good return policy, and you know, don't lose your receipt, don't lose the box. If you don't like it, just make sure to send it back. So the last thing you want to do is to have a bunch of tech in a cabinet like that.
Don't do that.
Okay, so this is exciting. I use Dubb every single period day since 2019. This software is invaluable. Thank you so much for saying that. If you could put your name, we actually don't know what your name is because of a Facebook integration issue with StreamYard. So please consider doing that.
He's challenging me now. I'm just saying, not everyone. You don't need to go to the high end camera first. You can start on your low end. You don't need the high end.
Yeah, I think that. Oh, hi Ben. We know you, Ben. We love you, Ben. Thank you. I think that what's interesting is that, you know, the analogy that I might present here is that when people want to go and work out, they go and they buy a bunch of stuff. They get the fitness bike, they get the treadmill, they get the rowing machine, they get the weights, and then ultimately it ends up in the garage. And it's unfortunate because they overbought, and then they kind of feel dejected that they have all this stuff, and they feel like they weren't accountable, and they kind of gave up. I think the same thing happens with video recording and video marketing. You know, the way that I look at this is that you have to earn all of your purchases. You know, you have to record 100 videos using whatever tech you have, even if it's an iPhone 8 or a 640 webcam. Just get 100 videos in your library, and then say, now I deserve to get that tech. Because then you know you're going to stay committed. Because the last thing you're going to want to do is to go spend $1,000 on a phone or $300 on a webcam and then just fatigue and not use it. And then you're going to feel kind of worse because you spent all the money, and then it's negative. So yeah, earn it, I would say.
I like that mentality a lot. It's that same thing with the gym mentality, or that gym analogy. Like, don't go buy all the clothes and all this equipment and all this stuff. Like, get your butt in there and your sweats and like get a workout, and then you can go invest in some cool gym gear to keep you motivated or something. Don't like sink yourself into a hole and then got to dig yourself out. He's all, go all in. Put it on the credit card and go all in. There you go.
Yeah.
That's awesome.
So Ken, thanks for the message here. I'm literally getting a message right now from a student of mine about how much he loves Dubb. So Ken, for folks that are interested, Ken is actually a certified pro, which we actually should discuss that. So if you're interested in getting training or being part of his Facebook group, the Dubb Club, you can join that, or the Growth Academy. Check those Facebook groups out, or you can just go to kenwalls.com. Victoria, thank you so much for the note. I love this platform. I saved hours of time using Dubb today. It was amazing. Thank you so much, Victoria. Love the way you spell your name. Appreciate that.
Thank you.
Okay, so let's talk about the Dubb certification program. I'm so glad, Ken, you mentioned this, or at least you mentioned your comment, because that triggered the thought. There is a way to get to be a certified Dubb pro, and we have not done the best job that we can to advertise this, but I think I can do that right now. And I'll just kind of get my screen ready and explain that. Basically, what this looks like is Darius Santos from the Dubb team recorded, was it 36 or 37 videos?
There's like 30 something. There's 26 in that list. I got a couple more to add to it. But yeah, there's like 30 videos on that page.
Okay, so there's 30 videos, and then Rob and I recorded at least 3 or 4 videos that gets everyone to a place where we can say, you're certified using the Dubb platform. You know how to set up your account. You know how to optimize it. You know how to set up automations. You know how to onboard a team. You know how to coach someone to be more comfortable being on camera, because that's actually one of the biggest challenges that people suffer from, which is feeling comfortable being on camera. So it's one thing to say, hey, here, I'm a techie and I'm going to help you get on the Dubb platform. It's entirely another thing to get certified. So, Rob, maybe you could talk through that, the process of learning how to teach someone to be more comfortable being on camera. What was that process like for us to create that?
Yeah, one of the biggest points we tell everybody, and this is the mantra of, I think, anything in life, is practice, 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 and then practice some more. And then when you think you haven't practiced enough, practice some more. But when it comes to being comfortable on camera is, a lot of the times when you're connecting with human beings, most of the time when you're talking to someone, it's in person. So, it's right there, you're live. It's almost like you're in theater. With Dubb and using video, it's really more like making a film. You're not live in front of anyone. It's you and the camera. You can redo it as many times as you'd like. So just understand that the camera is more your friend. It's not a barrier, it's a bridge. That's one of the biggest things we tell everyone, because the more you do it, the more you practice, the better you're going to become. And we're all different. That's one thing. You really want to lean into the differences of who you are. Each one of us has a very significant fingerprint, right? There's no other fingerprint like yours. So if you like to have a style where you grab your mobile phone and you're walking around and you're doing your thing, or you like to use the desktop app and you get professional background, whatever is you, be you. Don't try to be something else. Don't try to be someone else. If you'll notice that, Darius, Ruben, and I, we all have 3 distinct styles. We all talk in our own way. So you just remember that when you're speaking to camera, don't put that pressure on yourself to be perfect. Are there easy to use tech that Darius and Ruben have created to make it much easier? Yeah, editing. The transcript can scroll down, but don't ever worry about, I need to sound like this to be taken professionally. The personal is the professional today. Remember that. The personal is the professional. And wherever you are in the world, whatever the guardrails are for your particular company and your branding, work within those guidelines and guardrails, but always be yourself. And when you are yourself, it will free you to not worry about the little things that are stopping you from getting in front of that camera. So, yeah.
Nice. And I think, a lot of this is about repetition. A lot of this is about learning from other people making mistakes. So if you look at the videos on this page right here, I'm going to put this URL right on the stage. So dubb.com/certified. And that's actually going to forward you to a page on the Dubb community site, which is going to have a playlist. Now this here, just to reiterate, this is a playlist of videos. You can see there's 26 videos in this playlist. We might even add a couple of more here. So we actually recommend that you watch all of these videos. They're very short. Some of them are just a minute or 2 or 3. But if you just kind of fly through that, you're going to see how to set up a Dubb account. And then, this is our video on how to feel comfortable being on camera. This could be for you. This could be for your clients. There's a couple others that we've added here. Once you have watched all these videos, we recommend that you email support@dubb.com and just give us a heads up that you've watched these videos, and then we're going to send you a certificate. And that certificate, then you can, publish it on your social channels. You can add it to your LinkedIn account. There's a lot of different places that you can put that. So that's kind of exciting. Once again, please get to be a Dubb Certified Pro. Link in the comments. Also, resharing the link right here, which is dubb.com/certified. Please go to that URL, watch those videos, send us an email. Love to send you a certificate. We've already had a handful of folks that are already certified now. Our goal is to get 1,000 Dubb certified pros by the end of the year, which is very attainable. So please be at the first of the list for that.
Got anything else?
I think we're good. Thank you
Nice.
so much for the support, guys. Please join the Facebook group,
Oh, yeah.
Dubb
you.
Early Adopters. We're going to be putting some comments in there. Go click on some stuff, try to break some stuff. Give us your feedback. Here to support.
Check it out. Nice.